Hi everyone, this is Balázs from RacingBrick and welcome to the last Rebrickable video of 2025. I was looking for a custom build that would feel like a proper way to close out the year, and I think I found a really good one. This is the LEGO Technic 42172 McLaren P1, the 1/8 scale supercar from 2024, and by the way, with 2026 just around the corner, do you think it's time for another speculation video about the next big Technic flagship? Let me know in the comments. Even though this is currently the latest 1/8 scale Technic supercar and it's been out for a while, there actually aren't that many alternate builds available for it on Rebrickable. Fun fact, I published a video about that McLaren F1 GTR alternate build exactly 1 year ago, so this feels like a nice full circle moment. Today's alternate build is not a McLaren, no big surprise if you've already seen the thumbnail and the title. This is the Corvette ZR1 by timtimgo, and you will find the link to the instructions down below. He's been featured on the channel before with his C-Duck alternate build, and he also has heavy machinery and other fun designs on his page. But this one is clearly playing in a different league. This is a full alternate build of the McLaren P1, which means you only need this one set, no extra parts required. If we take a look at the Rebrickable comparison tool, which is actually really handy, you can see that the designer used over 93% of the original set's parts, and considering we are talking about more than 3600 elements, that's seriously impressive. There are unique pieces on this side that might surprise you. As I said, you only need to use parts from the set, but apparently spares were also used. If you are not familiar with the concept, LEGO includes extra pieces for the smallest elements in every set, and they are always the same, not random. On Rebrickable, if you scroll to the end of the inventory, you can see these listed clearly. In this case, all 18 extra parts come from the official spares. If you are opening a brand new P1, you probably won't even notice, but if you are rebuilding your existing one, make sure to add those spares to the pile. Now let's do a quick comparison with the original McLaren P1. Both models are big and orange, but beyond that there aren't many similarities. The Corvette has a shorter wheelbase, it's narrower, and of course the real cars have very different proportions as well. The Corvette also sits higher. You won't scrape the ground when testing the suspension like you can with the P1, and the gap between the wheel arches and the tires is noticeably smaller. We'll come back to that in a moment. These 1/8 scale Technic supercars are basically sculptures built from Technic elements, and within the limits of the inventory, I think the Corvette does a really good job capturing the real car's shape. The front looks good, the nose isn't quite as pointy as it should be, but that's clearly a parts limitation. All the split air aero elements are there, just make sure those bionicle teeth are aligned correctly. The headlights work well, the hood opening is there, although this section is longer than ideal because the proportions had to follow the available parts. The side shaping is strong too. You get that massive rear shoulder, and the designer clearly tried to recreate the distinctive Y-shaped black panels in front of the rear wheels, again within the limits of the set. The roof and the engine cover have the right colors and detailing, there's a big rear wing, and I really respect the effort put into replicating the Corvette's iconic rear lights without having the right parts. There's also a small but very nice detail here, this L-shaped half beam standing in for the Corvette logo. Now let's move on to the functions. At the front we have an opening frunk with a support rod, and importantly we even get a bag with a different design compared to the original. The doors open as well. The mechanism is simpler than on the P1, but there's a clever twist, a locking system. You can see the rubber band inside, and when you close the door, you get a really satisfying click. The door stays securely in place, and I genuinely like this solution. The interior is nicely detailed. There's a custom-built steering wheel shaped after the real one, connected to the front wheels, and fully custom seats that look great. The lever in the center controls the gearbox. We get 7 speeds plus neutral, and there's a clever limiter mechanism that prevents shifting directly from 1st to 7th gear. The designer even gives you a clear view of the shifter and gearbox from underneath. This limiter stops movement in one direction and blocks rotation at exactly the right point in the other. Shifting works well, but you do need to be patient. Rushing through the gears can jam the mechanism. You can even see some gearbox components in action through the openings in the engine cover. Opening that reveals the engine. There's no support rod here unfortunately, it stays open briefly, then slowly closes. On the plus side, the entire rear section can be removed easily to reveal more details, which is a very nice touch. The engine speed changes depending on the gear. Neutral spins freely, first gear is the fastest at a constant wheel speed, and it gradually slows down as you shift up. Now back to that small wheel arch gap. The car does have suspension, using the same components as the official P1, but there's an interesting trick here. To achieve that tight stance, the upper wishbones rest against the frame pieces at both the front and rear. This means the weight of the car is technically supported by those elements rather than the shock absorbers. Any movement you see comes from flexing the wishbones, not from the shocks themselves. Some people might call this cheating or question why the shock absorbers are even there, but I think this was a conscious design choice. The goal was clearly to minimize the wheel gap without risking contact between the tires and surrounding bodywork under compression, and this solution achieves that. So overall, the car looks great, the functions work, and while there are things that could be improved, that would likely require extra parts. The product page is extremely detailed, which is surprisingly rare and definitely worth checking out. The instructions are solid too, 3 PDFs, clear steps, and only a few moments where I personally would have changed the build order slightly for convenience. If you own the LEGO Technic McLaren P1 and you are not afraid of sorting more than 3600 parts for an alternate build, I think this Corvette ZR1 is an excellent choice. You can really feel the amount of work and attention to detail that went into it, and in my opinion, it's absolutely worth the price. Let me know what you think about this custom build, how it compares to the original P1, let's talk about it in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe with notifications, as more exciting LEGO videos are coming soon. See you next time, bye bye.